Hey guys, Czar here. Good morning to you. Hope all is well. Trust you had a great weekend. Happy Monday to you. It is Monday, August 26th, coming towards the end of August here already. Can you believe that? We are open, by the way, on New York. Just open, as you can see here. This is the three sisters, NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow 1-minute charts. Ignore these diagonal lines here for a moment until that indicator organizes itself here on TradingView. I don't know why it does that. It does it sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. But let's go take a look at the daily frame, shall we, before we get going here on Manic Monday. And I call all Mondays Manic Monday just because they tend to act a little differently. Doesn't mean there are no opportunities. There are sometimes great opportunities on Mondays, but I'm just a little bit more cautious than usual. NASDAQ, S&P, and Dow here on the daily. We have pulled all the way back into this key resistance area in this impulse wave down that took us down 17% from peak to trough on the NASDAQ and somewhat less here on the S&P and the Dow. But now back here kind of grinding around. We have an inside day, as you can see, again here on the NASDAQ so far. And if you remember, Friday was an inside day as well from Thursday, which was a big wide-ranging bearish day. We had an inside day on the S&P as well on Friday, and we had an up day on Friday on the Dow, so a real mixed picture here. Today is an up day again, new high broken on the Dow, and we've also broken the high on the S&P, while the NASDAQ is showing a bearish body for now. So let's go take a look at the power grid, shall we? This is my trading grid, or the power grid. There's that inside day of an inside day of this day, right? And this is Monday with a bearish body. We have sold down here in the pre-market during the UK session on the 30-minute chart. But this is the range from Asia and from the UK session, the European session. UK being closed, I believe, by the way, today. I think the rest of Europe is open, but don't quote me on that. This is the 1-minute chart on the right-hand side. Going to drop down to the 30-second chart here for a moment. Take a look at that in some more surgical detail. Yeah, not much going on here, guys. Pull you back over to the three sisters on the 1-minute chart. There's the Dow trying to rally up here, just a little bit above the open range. There's the S&P doing the same sort of thing. I'm going to zoom in here. Going to ignore the 2.5 standard deviation bands here for the moment. All right, guys, I'll put you on pause. We'll be cutting out dead air, sideways grinding action, non-teaching moments to keep this video nice and tight, but I'll bring you back probably in a few minutes or beyond if and when something begins to materialize here. So far, there's nothing going on. And trying to push up now, guys, on all three here. Let's see how consistent this push can be. See if there's any juice behind that. Again, inside day here on the NASDAQ, so neutral in terms of longs or shorts and buys and sells. Bulls and bears are in perfect balance here this morning. In the future session, that means overnight as well, of course. Perfect balance. There's a doji style body right there. Let's take a look at the S&P. You'll see that's an up day, so a strong day breaking into a new range here. Let's take a look at the Dow. The Dow is an up body as well, on the up candle, I should say, too, breaking new highs. Trying to break highs from way back here on July 31st and about to do it. In fact, there we go. Pulling back now. I'm watching the NASDAQ, of course, here today, guys, along with the three sisters, pushing up, rounding over a bit now, a little bit on the Dow. Not much to do here yet. I'm not going to jump all over this just because we're pushing up. We do have some space to move here, of course, in this range without too much trouble. So it could be tempting to jump on this and chase, but I'm not going to do that. I'm pulling back now on all three. Nothing to do here. Just patience. So now we have a break and a retest, guys, of the open range. But nothing else really happening yet. I'm just going to sit and wait. So just waiting here, guys, for some more structure to show up. Kind of grindy here, having a hard time getting beyond this prior pivot on 1, 2, and the Dow pulling back here. Dow was able to break that pivot, but as most of you know, I'm largely ignoring the Dow these days, given that it's marching to its own drummer. I'll keep repeating that. I know I do it almost every day, and I think the repetition is important. And now all three dropping back into the open range, 1, 2, and 3. This could turn into a nice short opportunity. We'll see. Watching now. Bearish daily body dropping down. I'm not too concerned about this support area right here. And dropping down now, guys. All right. Sell stop order, guys, right below the low right here. I'll fix this marker in a moment. You can see what I'm doing. And my stop will be above this candle right there. That big shift candle. I'll be seeking 1 hour. I'll fix these markers here in a moment. All right, I'm in, guys. I'm short the NASDAQ and really kind of hoping that the other two follow suit and fold over here, at least the S&P. And it's okay to hope. There's nothing wrong with that, as long as your whole strategy is not based on hope. And the reality is none of my strategy is based on hope, but sometimes I like to hope a little bit. And that's okay. All right, guys, so why am I short? Well, daily indecisive neutral, but body flipping bearish. In this bearish downtrend, we had a little minor zone here from Asia that I completely took out because it really is not a very important one. And then driving down to test this piece here that actually happened when the market was closed. In other words, the regular trading hours weren't even open in here. Three sisters starting bullish, bullish, and bullish, and then fading and failing, fading and failing. And the same thing here, of course, on the NASDAQ, dropping below the open range, below session low, below 9, below the 21. As you can see here, EMA's dropping down. This is the 1 minute, not the 30-second chart. And then really being bolstered by this daily body flipping bearish as this move here continues from the pre-market. Just looking for 1 hour here, guys. One of the big mistakes that traders make on these market open plays is to take a first break of an open range or even a second break of an open range or any setup here early, especially on a Monday, without support of the either the three sisters and or the higher time frames. I shouldn't say and the higher time frame charts, and that's very important here on these market open plays. The times when I take losses, I often look back and realize, yep, for whatever reason, my brain ignored what was happening on the daily or on the 30 or both for that matter and just focused on what was happening here. And it's a mistake to just look at this 1 minute or the 30-second chart in isolation and jump on breaks of open ranges. It's a big one that I see with a lot of traders. It's a mistake I made early on in my career as well. So daily body turned bearish, flipping down on an inside day, again an inside day of an inside day, permissive for both. And then this trend continuing here after failing to rally up on the open right here, made an attempt, a rather feeble attempt, and then dropped, and then bounced off temporarily here from the open range, and then failed to make a new high here into session highs. And that's often a sign that things are not looking good for the long case. And then folding and then flipping EMAs 9 below the 21, coming back and tapping and then breaking down into session lows. A standard textbook setup and entry here for me, even on a Monday after this tug of war has played out for a little bit. No guarantees here though, guys. Mondays can be very manic and this could absolutely rally up here and take me out, and I'll accept that with humility. All right, guys, we're back and we just passed the 50% mark, which is right about here. I'm going to move my stop to break even and protect this here on this Manic Monday in case we get back to here. It looks like we're going to. I'll take a break even if I need to here to preserve capital going into the week. Start off nice and conservative and just protect things on the downside and participate on the upside as much as we can. Stop to break even. And there it is, guys. Thanks for joining me today. Monday morning, nice way to start the week. Hope you're having a good one so far. We'll talk to you soon. Take care.